Here we are again on another journey down into the basement. A little bit sweaty. Had a big walk again. It was spitting a bit of rain, but I just wished it would have downpoured because I needed that to cool me off. Oh man. I'm really terribly upset. And I know. To most of you, it's not that big a deal, but to me, it's a big deal. When you see a tree, a beautiful, living organism that is thriving, it gets very upsetting to see it slaughtered in its heyday for no reason. It wasn't diseased, it wasn't causing any issues, it's not exactly in a paddock, but it was in a block in between two houses going down the road which I always walk down, and for most of these years it's been very well hidden by all this scrub and other bush and other, sort of weed type trees that come up around it. And they'd been clearing them out for the last couple of weeks, and I was just looking at it and thinking, that is just the most magnificent tree. It's a beautiful big fig tree. And when I went down last night, I couldn't even talk about it. Tonight I'm sort of ready to talk about it, but man. Last night I stood there aghast for like 10, 15, 20 minutes just looking at it. And it was only the night before, under, not quite a full moon. I'm walking home and just looking at what a magnificent tree this is. It is so beautiful. It's just got it all happening. It's a massive, massive fig tree. Last night, as I walked down and I start looking at the wood chips on the road, they've murdered it. They've fucking murdered it. I couldn't believe the sight in front of me. I can barely talk about it now. When you connect with a living creature, it doesn't matter if it's a fucking ant or a fly or a spider or a fish or a dog or a cow or a horse or a fucking tree. When you connect with them, you know they are a living, aware, conscious being, just like you and me. So when you see some senseless murder occur, I got no urge to exact revenge. I just want them to realise what they've done. That is the revenge. To realise what you've done. What the fuck have you done? Because your remorse is our revenge. If you ever wake up to the fucking bullshit, why did you have to go and kill that beautiful, beautiful tree? You know, its girth from one end to the other is at least as big as my body, laid out, stretched out. It's its girth. He was doing no harm. Sure enough, the fruit bats might have come and bloody eaten off it and might have been shitting on your roof and on your cars or whatever, but you could have taken protective measures if you used, applied some sort of other method that didn't involve the murder of this beautiful soul. I may or may not go back and take pictures. I don't sort of dwell on things. Now you look at this stump, looks like a messer, as they talk about in these, there are no forests on the flat earth, because the real forests, massive trees that live for thousands and thousands of years, been petrified into these messes. Well, this is just another one. It won't get petrified, obviously, because it's got to be buried in silt and then have the silt washed away. It just upsets me so much to see that people just don't think. They're not aware, they're not awake, they're not conscious. You can't do that to a living tree. That breaks my fucking heart. I mean, I just stood there agape, aghast. I just looked at it. And after 10 minutes, the bloke down in his house, he obviously knew what he's done. He just went and turned his lights off. This was last night. Tonight's a different story. I know he's gotten used to it. It gets better and better every day. But I just walked past there. Yeah. This was a magnificent, big fig tree. It's probably been living on this earth for a couple of 100 years. At least 100, something of that size. But for convenience, I get somebody to come in and chop it down and mulch it up. It just breaks my fucking heart. Breaks my heart. That what can you do? It's the same old, isn't it? Get drunk, sing a song. It's starting to wear a bit thin, this whole get drunk, sing a song thing. Maybe I'm going to have to start learning how to write my own songs, protest songs. Or awareness songs. I think awareness is better than protest. You can't protest. I mean, seriously, if somebody's seriously made up their minds they're going to do something like they're doing, say, at Standing Rock, they're going to do it one way or another. And if enough people stand up to one way of it, they'll find another. They're going to do it one way or another. What can we do? We're just mere mortals. We could try and get organised, I suppose, and form our own organisation to what? Be against organisation. I mean, there is the old saying, you can't stop progress. And maybe we need to just learn to progress in the right direction, where we work with nature as opposed to against her. So I've been thinking about this for a long time. And the whole flat earth idea, which we are now becoming more and more and more aware of, comes down to the basic idea that the earth itself, the actual ground, the planet that we live on, the physical reality, it is alive and it is growing. So every time we pave over something, make a road or something like that, what we're actually doing is stunting its growth. So we have to look at another way of doing it, where we allow the organic growth of the earth constantly to keep growing, which is obviously what forests do by dropping their leaf litter. Everything gets recycled back into the ground. It constantly grows, and then you do get the erosion from your rain, and that flushes a lot of it down into the streams, and hence takes the minerals out into the ocean, which is why the ocean is constantly getting so salty. Now, with all my experience of aquariums over the years, one thing I know is that even freshwater fish need salt, which is minerals. And the general guide I tell everybody, a teaspoon per 10 litres of fresh water, teaspoon of salt is your general guideline. And just to put their minds at rest, I say, look, if you're worried that's too much salt, if you're turning it into salt water, like the ocean, you need to put 30 teaspoons of salt per 10 litres into the water. So it's very safe just to add one, maybe even two. Won't hurt at all. Very, very, very good for your fish. Helps prevent all the diseases, helps prevent the fungals. So here's my thinking then is, well, if all these minerals are what's making the ocean so salty, is maybe we need to regather them, recapture them. It actually pump it back out of the ocean, along with all that silt and erosion and sand and minerals and all the rest, and just pump it back out. Big frickin' what do you call it? I'm not thinking desalinization, I'm thinking dredging. Big friggin' dredging. Big, massive dredging. Even make artificial islands. Pump it out. If you're worried about sea level rising, well, there's one way of addressing it. The more you pump stuff back out of the ocean, then the ocean's going to keep going back down again. Now, we know for a fact the ocean's been rising for hundreds of thousands of years. There's evidence of Gondwana land, where Tasmania and the Australian mainland and New Guinea were all attached at one stage. We know that for a fact. So we can't blame that on modern global warming causing sea level rising. Sea level has been rising since forever. So we have to apply ourselves with, technical knowledge. And I have made a few rants in the past. Some of them I do sort of question a little bit. But where I talked about the pyramids and where I talked about domes, and they have some very specific applications that could be used to help prevent global warming, sea level rising, all the rest. We can address it. But basically, I think, yeah, all we've got to do is just get some massive, massive pumps happening and look at Central Australia. If it's lower than sea level, then hey, let's just put some massive dredges out there and pump the water in and let it evaporate. You know, it's going to put fresh water back up there for us to rain down. And if we did happen to be able to build some sort of dome covering over them to contain the fresh water and recapture it, yay, even better. But even if we don't, it's still going to be better than this fucking chemtrail business they're bloody spraying all around the place to try and prevent global warming. Just put some more extra aluminium in my water supply, why don't you? Just spray it all down on my food supply, why don't you? No, I don't need that fucking polluting bullshit. It can be done by applying yourself with nature and natural principles. It can be done. We don't need this artificial intervention, spraying aluminium, barium, strontium, all the rest in our environment. You know that's not right. So don't do it. I'm still grieving over this tree. I just look at it and I just shake my head. Why? 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 I know sometimes you've got to remove trees for practical purposes, but this one, so anyway, I keep wanting to stress my philosophy. And my philosophy is that Earth, Mother Earth herself, is the one true God. That's my philosophy. I work on the principle that she is actually God. Now, if you've got a better idea for what God is, you know, by all means, leave a comment and let me know. But this is what I work on. And I work on the principle that she is God. Simply because she provides our bodies. We all come from Earth. She gives us the air we breathe, the Holy Spirit. She nourishes us, she clothes us, she houses us. Everything we have comes from the Mother Earth. And the Mother Earth, to the best of our knowledge, is infinite. Just as you would expect God to be. So, I'm happy to entertain any sort of philosophy that you can bring up to, you know, challenge that, contest it, work with it, work on it, work against it. I'm happy to discuss that. As far as I'm concerned, and I've done my research, Mother Earth, Sophia Gaia, is the true God. And we are one with her. So, it's all good. Anyway, talk to you next time.